each day we're learning more and more about trauma, especially in the past 5 or 10 years. We've had the development of the polyvagal theory, the vagus nerve being strongly associated, a key component of trauma, the central nervous system holding on to so much reactivity that we didn't realize before. Dr. Dan Siegel and his development in trauma, Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, and so many others are leading the way on the study of trauma and also on so many interventions. And there are really so many out there that it can be overwhelming, and it's difficult to understand which one is for you. The one that resonated with me, that helped not only me, but my clients, has been emotional freedom technique. It doesn't mean that's the one for you, but it is in general really good for anxiety. And then it can help with some inner child work, which is the one that I'm going to demonstrate today. Of course, there's a host of other tools. This is one that has, like I said, worked for me and many of my clients, and I see results fairly quickly. So I wanted to share it. In this EFT that I'm about to demonstrate, we are going to be doing a reimprintment of a memory. What that means is we're going to visualize a memory and we're going to put a new imprint on that memory. This technique was developed by Carl Dawson, and it's a powerful technique because it can create a new memory in its place, and it also can help release a lot of the emotions associated with it through the tapping areas that are holding on to that emotion. So it's kind of doing a few things at once. So when we start this EFT, we're going to close our eyes and just start breathing. And I just want you to inhale through your nose and take a pause and exhale through your mouth or nose. Just take a couple of deep breaths, recalibrating your nervous system, and just getting you into a more relaxed state. Excellent. We're going to, as we close our eyes and breathe, we're going to put our hand on our heart and start tapping that gamut point that I talked about. Just start tapping the gamut point, keeping your eyes closed, and continue with the breath. And if you get tired of tapping on the gamut point, you can tap on your karate chop point or your collarbone point, if that's easier for you. But like I said, the gamut point is pretty powerful, so you at least want to do that for a little while. So continue to tap, continue to breathe, and just relax. And I want you to visualize a scenario that comes to mind for you as a child, young adult, whatever it might be. Just take a moment and pick something that has bothered you, is an obvious trauma or not, but something that resonates with you, that hurt you in some way or made you feel uncomfortable, and you still might be hanging on to that. And once you've picked that and can visualize it, if you can't visualize it, that's fine too. It could be a feeling. It could be you can only visualize part of it. It really doesn't matter. As long as you have the feeling associated with it, then that's really good. If you're visualizing it, I want you to freeze everybody else around the scenario. Everybody else is frozen but you, the little version of you, whatever age you were. I want you to try to picture that image with everyone else frozen but you. And then as you're tapping on the gamut point, I want you to step into that scenario as your adult self, and you're not leaving your adult self in this intervention. You're remaining the adult, but I want you to walk into that scenario as an adult version of you and take a look at the scenario and specifically focusing on your younger self. Okay, then I want you to ask your younger self, what's all this distress about? What are you feeling? And that you came here to help them. Okay? You're here to help them. And you're here to protect them. I want you to take the hand of the little one, reach out your hand, and let him or her know that they are not alone. Let them know and ask them to describe their distress and how they are feeling. And ask them how this situation, what they learned about themselves and what they project onto themselves from the situation, or how do they perceive others and the world because of this situation. You can also tap on your little one at the same time as you're tapping on yourself if you want. And then we're going to start at the top of the head. And we're going to say, all this distress. Okay, all this distress we're feeling, or worry, or discomfort. I want you to know that there is nothing wrong with you. I want you to know there is nothing bad about you, that it's not your fault, and that I love you and I'm here for you, and it's all going to be okay. So, few phrases there directly coming from your adult self to your younger self. There is nothing wrong with you, nothing bad about you. It's not your fault. I love you and I am here for you, and it's going to be okay. Okay. All this distress, we're going to go to the eyebrow point. All this worry, discomfort, okay, all this worry on that eyebrow point, all this discomfort. We're going to the temple. All these feelings of unworthiness, or feeling that we're unloved or less than in some way. Now we're going to the under the eye. All this distress and this belief that maybe you truly are unworthy or unlovable or less than. Under the mouth, all this distress, all you have concluded about yourself. And I know you believe this to be true in the temple, but this is so not true. This is completely opposite of truth. There is nothing wrong with you. This is not your fault. And there's nothing bad about you. The people around you either did not know any better or were confused, and you just happened to be in the circumstance. They maybe didn't understand what they were doing, didn't know any better. They might have been confused, not able to really understand what was going on around them. The truth is, though, that you are a wonderful an amazing kid, that you were born like that. Okay. The truth is that you're perfect just the way you are. You are not unworthy. You are very worthy. The truth is that you're a great kid, that there is nothing bad about you. And I love you, and you will be okay.